Hello everybody, this is Nate from the Kraemer Life.
And Katie.
Also from the Kraemer Life. And today we're going to do a
July and August update.
Yep, and we'll kind of touch into some of the things that are currently happening. So we are currently on the north side of the house, or the back side of the house, where the entrance to the basement crawl space is, and we thought we would start there.
All right.
Okay, let's head into the crawl space and we'll talk.
The dark cave.
The dark cave. Okay, we'll go ahead and I'll follow you.
Okay. Okay. So will everyone else?
Yeah, everybody's coming in here. So first thing is I did a bunch of cleaning of, this is underneath the sun porch.
Yeah, the back sun porch.
Yeah, and I did a bunch of cleaning in here. I hope you guys can see. Yeah, you can see. We also got
a freezer.
A 20 cubic foot freezer. And that's in preparation for what?
Miney and Mo.
Yeah, to be very specific, yes. Yeah, so we're gonna head into the crawl space and I'll show you the current state where we're at. Okay, we are now in the crawl space slash basement. I don't know what to call it. It's not really a basement.
It's a crawl space.
Okay, sounds good. And I wanted to just do a quick show around of where we're at. I did start the process of putting up the vapor barrier along the walls, and I haven't done that on the floor yet because there's still quite a bit of work that I need to do to prep for that. But at this point in time, we have vapor barrier up on almost all the walls. They're just not completely finished. So there's some areas you can kind of see here where I need to patch them together. But for the most part, we got it up along the walls. But back in the corner here, for example, another area like where I need to kind of patch them all together. I wasn't really sure how to do this corner piece. So, but now that we're doing remodel upstairs, we have a little bit of an issue in that, it's actually patched right now, but this is not in place yet. But there's a big giant hole here because there's a lot of dry rot, and so we're in the process of fixing that, and we'll get to that later in the video. In addition to putting up the vapor barrier, I've temporarily installed both of our dehumidifiers in here, and that's because since I don't have things encapsulated all the way, one dehumidifier is not able to really keep up. So we're currently at 57% humidity. We want to be below 50, but there's a lot of open spaces here, like that big hole. Haven't closed the vents, didn't seal the door, so it's not going to be able to get below 50 very easily. Let's go, bud. Come on. Come on, Floyd. All right, where do you want to go to next, hon? One thing I do want to mention is we found a bunch of looks like storm windows and stuff. We're going to be keeping these because we're probably going to make a greenhouse out of them at some point. A bunch of T-posts that we're keeping, and then some more windows over there. So some organization to do, but it's pretty cool to have found those.
So for this part of the garden, we went ahead and harvested our first round of potatoes, and this is where we did the mound method. We got about 98 pounds.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was awesome.
96, 93, something. But we got a lot of potatoes using the mound method, and last time we did the entire row. We did go ahead and also start our fall garden. So we did plant another 2 half rows of potatoes to have some more in, and then we did watermelon at the end, in the middle.
Yeah,
and
we
then
did
corn.
Three watermelons.
Yep, and only 2 came up. One looks like it might be finally.
I replanted another seed.
Oh, okay.
Let's go take a look.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I see a leaf. All right, so watermelon number 1.
Okay.
Number 2.
Oh, this one's doing well.
Yeah, this one's doing really well. And this is the one that got replanted, number 3. And then as you can see along the sides, the corn is starting to come up too. So we have some corn that we just started. We started it really late, but we wanted to see if we could get one more corn harvest in.
Yeah, so we planted the corn every foot, and it's about 16 feet in length. And we have 2 rows of that, and they're starting to come up. So it's pretty exciting. And what we're hoping is that the watermelon will train it that way, right?
Yep.
Between the corn.
Before the corn starts to get too big. But
Yeah, so that way it can get some sun.
yeah.
Yeah, and then want to touch on the pumpkins? Okay,
Yeah.
let's head over there.
So it looks like we have 4 orange pumpkins. We have 1 green one that is getting pretty close. It should hopefully start turning. And then we've got a couple little small ones, but I think that one's not going to make it. That one
Let's
looks
see here, we have,
squished.
oh, did it get squished?
Look at it.
Oh yeah, this one, well, it's not, it's a little, we'll see if that one makes it. We got that one, we got another one starting right here.
We had a couple more.
Yeah, we had one, and I accidentally killed it because I cut the vine off when I was trimming down the powdery mildew. Oh, so that's
Yeah, this
exciting.
was our experiment with our pumpkin patch. And I know we're doing it very different than most people do pumpkins because of the way that they like to attach their roots down when they grow. But we wanted to try it on the plastic just to see how it did. You'll find with us we do a lot of experimentation and just trying things differently and planting things in different areas at different times of the year that most people don't. So we're just getting used to this climate and kind of trying to play around with it. And then carrots. So this is our original batch of carrots, and they are starting to be pretty ready. Like this one could probably come up, but you can
Pull that out. Don't pull it out. Sorry, just move it
Oh.
aside. Okay, there we go.
yeah. So these ones they're all starting to protrude. They're looking like they're growing really well.
Yeah, we pulled a few out
Yeah.
about last week for some dinner, and they weren't quite ripe.
No, they still needed a little bit to go. They were still a little too green, and they were only about that long. So we're gonna let these go for a little bit longer before we start harvesting them. We did plant another container
Yeah,
of carrots here.
Yeah, I can't remember if we did carrots in this one again or in
I think
this
we did
one.
it in the shorter one.
Oh, okay. So I did
I
more
think those are
carrots.
carrots.
More carrots in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one you got really creative with.
Yeah, I did like in this one. I did like lavender, and gosh, what did I do in there?
You did some lettuces.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I think it was butter lettuce, spinach, kale, lavender. Like it's.
I just tried
He kind of
things.
threw some seeds in there.
Yeah,
So we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah, so far nothing's germinated, but I still have lots of hope. Lots of hope.
A wish and a prayer. It's the way we work. All right.
Let's talk about the sheep.
All right. Oh, they're all laying there so good.
Yeah, they're doing really nicely. They're being quiet. These are extremely loud sheep. They just baa, baa, baa all day long. All right, so let's talk about this
Yeah,
netting.
netting.
Yeah, we changed up a little bit our, I don't know if we have good light here. We changed up our strategy with the sheep. I kind of took some inspiration from our friends Dom and Jenny over at O'Driscoll Family Homestead Experiment. They use sheep netting, and it looks to be a lot easier for them to move their sheep than it has been for us. With the poly wire. So I went out and bought some sheep netting. I think it's like 43 inches high or something like that, and like 170 feet in length. Right now we have both sheep nettings in play as we transition to doing them in sheep netting just full time. So they have a pretty large section to graze on, and then we also have them where
In the woods. And
yeah,
wire.
where Miney and Mo, no, is that right? Yeah, Miney and Mo were in this paddock here, and so we want to give them some shade, and we also want to have them eat some of the taller leaves and stuff.
Which they have definitely started to decimate. They really like this area, this little kind of covered area. I think it's because they have such good viewpoints, but they still are in shade and still feel a little protected because that's where they've gone. We had their home over here, but we just moved their home a little bit further out, which they typically are in that throughout the day as well.
All right, so continuing on, heading southward, we are at the carport. This is the back of the carport and the side of the carport here. We had the roof replaced, so we ended up putting on a metal roof, same color as the roof of the house. And we did that because the roof needed to be replaced anyway, but we got lucky and had it done basically for free, because what happened when Pods was delivering our pod, they damaged the top there where it peaks, and they ended up paying to replace the whole roof because of all of the damage that they did. So now we have nice new fascia boards all the way around. We're getting gutters here soon, and we also have a very nice, beautiful roof. So I'm very excited about that because that was a project on the list, and now it's checked off.
With our chickens, we have had a new addition. We have Sir Crows-a-Lot, our new rooster. We have 7 more juveniles, and we had 2 a little bit smaller ones that we were calling kind of the babies or the chicks. It kind of seems like we have 2 separate flocks, almost 3 separate flocks. So he's doing really well with the original 8 ladies, and I think what we had put up all these different defense lines because in June we had lost quite a few of the baby chicks. We had added also, since I think we shared with you all last time, we added scare tape, and we also added some VHS tape just to have that wind movement and to hope deter more. So all of July and all the way up to August 31st, we lost 0 more chicks, so it was effective, it was working. Unfortunately, on August 31st, the very last day, we did lose one of the smaller chicks, but we are pretty confident it's because he kept getting out through this netting at the bottom. Even though this is so small, they would jump up and jump through it. Even when it was electrified, which we keep it electrified, we would continually find them out wandering around. Obviously the grass was greener on the other side. Not sure why, but the 2 smaller ones continued to come out. And when we got home on the 31st after going to town, there was only 1. So we're pretty sure he got out. Could have been another snake somewhere. It could have been another aerial predator that we just didn't see. Could have been a coyote. Who knows?
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, piggy piggies.
Piggy piggies. All right. So as Katie waters down the pigs, I'll talk about them. So about 3 weeks ago, we moved them into this paddock. This was the half-acre paddock that we had the sheep run through to cut down a lot of the ground vegetation. And sheep did a pretty good job with that, and the pigs are doing a really good job. So it's being cleared out quite nicely. We moved the pig water here over to them. I did a small repair on that because they had broke it. But the pigs are only here for about another 10 days. On the 10th of September, we're actually going to be processing these pigs and putting them into the freezer. And we have some friends coming over to help us with that. So we're pretty excited to share that experience with you guys. Eenie and Meanie busted their home.
It was a cattle panel.
They decided that they wanted to flatten out their little shelter so they could step on it as opposed to go inside of it.
Right, so Eenie and Meanie have been in this paddock here for quite some time, as you can see, as they have done an excellent job clearing the vegetation, making little wallows. They've got about 3 wallow holes now for themselves. So what we ended up doing is, so this fence, it comes all the way down and it goes all the way to the front of the property, and it matches up with the actual regular fence. And we've taken it all the way to the next set of neighbors' property. So we have extended it and probably enhanced it by almost 2 more times in size. So they have tons and tons of room in here. We probably will at some point close off this section and move it in a little bit so it forces them to start working on the other end. But for us right now, it's a lot easier to have their food and water over here because it's a little harder to get to with the vegetation as thick as it is right now. So that's kind of what we're doing with the mangoes right now. Are you two kissing? Watch out, Winston. Oh, you're gonna get shocked. Are you checking out the pigs? They're checking you out too.
And then there's this.
Farm dogs, city dogs.
So here at the end of the driveway, or the beginning of the driveway, depends how you look at it, I installed this drive-through gate here. I haven't electrified it yet, so I can touch it, but it just moves. You can drive through it, and it moves out of the way and then swings back into place. It's very convenient to have here, just to drive through back and forth. The one drawback is that this rubs against the side of your vehicle, and over time there's little dirt trails or something that I don't know how to describe that, that it leaves, kind of leaves a mark on the truck on the side. So I'm actually thinking about finding a different drive-through gate that wouldn't potentially damage the truck.
So this is one of our original gardens. We have corn growing here still. This was our second batch of corn. We did harvest all of the potatoes here. This was where we did the Ruth Stout method. Obviously we haven't weeded it back since then. On the other side, I'm not sure if you can see that through the weeds, but there are sweet potatoes.
We've also had a bunny rabbit come in through here, and you can see that they're eating a bunch of the leaves off the stems. But yeah, it's probably about time to start harvesting our sweet potatoes.
Here pretty soon. Okay, so this is our main little garden area, and as you can see, our peppers are thriving, so are our tomatoes doing very well. Our tomatillas finally came in. Yay, we have tomatillas. I'm so excited. Peppers are doing excellent. Our basil is doing phenomenal. Our marigold were thriving so much that we ended up having to take out about 3 or 4 of them and pot them on the sides. As you can see, butterflies are loving them, so we didn't want to get rid of them. We just moved them off to the side where necessary so we could replant. We put kale in front up here, so hopefully kale will start growing. This is our kind of our fall crop again, like we had mentioned. Here's some seeds that we're starting, some different cabbages, some different lettuces, broccoli rabe, things like that. As soon as we get a seed, we'll go ahead and find a place to plant those. Is this the bean or the pea?
That's bush bean.
So bush bean up here, and then we've got the peas down here, right?
No, those are cucumbers.
Oh, these are cucumbers. I am so wrong. Look at me go. We had already harvested our beets, and turns out Nate loves pickled beets. Loves them. So he's had 2 jars so far. Those of you that remember, I asked you for tips of how to cook the beets. I pickled 1/2 and then I froze the other half. We ended up pickling them all, and he's eaten both jars. So we got more beets. 1 thing of rosemary back here. Our basil, like I said, that one's doing so well, we let these 2 go to seed. We're gonna collect the seeds so we have some more to plant for next year. We've been collecting seeds with a lot of the peppers we've been using, the tomatoes, and I've also already harvested the cilantro and coriander, and I've saved the seeds from them along with the dill. So we have a lot of seeds that we've already saved. In here, the dill came back. So even after we harvested it and kind of trimmed it off, we got another sprout. So we're going ahead and keeping that. In here we planted a whole bunch of more herbs. So we planted thyme and, oh man, what all did we plant? We planted so many different ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. We planted 6 different herbs in here. Now I don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to go back and look. Do you remember?
We'll just put them on the screen.
Okay, we'll label them. So yeah, so we're starting to replant for fall so that we'll have some fresh herbs and some fresh items through a little bit later into the year, and also experimenting to see if we can start them mid to late summer and if we can harvest them in the fall time. So that's kind of where we're at with our garden. The major updates though are inside the 1930s farmhouse, because that's really where we spent the majority of our time in August.
Construction zone.
And loading or holding zone.
Yeah.
And old planting zone.
Yeah, we got a lot going on in this house.
This room is kind of a catch-all. So it is what I think we will use maybe in the future as a little mini greenhouse when it's not being rented. These are our indoor containers for our potatoes that we didn't harvest, so we need to actually look and see if there's any viable potatoes in there. They should still be good because it's been dark enough, I think, and enough soil over them, but we have 3 containers there. And then in the center here we have our new appliances. We did opt to get new appliances just because the condition of the other ones were in various stages and they weren't in the greatest shape. So we got new dishwasher, range, refrigerator, and then all of the flooring that we're gonna put in the house, we did go ahead and get that because hopefully we'll start finishing work here in the near future. Some of the repairs are taking a little longer because when you're remodeling an old house, you never know what happens when you start ripping things back, and we found a lot more issues than we anticipated. It's a mess in here right now because I've been going through books and sorting. We ripped out the cabinets in the kitchen.
And countertops.
And sink. We gutted the kitchen basically.
Yeah, we'll show you the kitchen here shortly.
Yeah, and then if y'all want to see what the flooring selection color is going to look like.
Let me see if I can get good lighting.
Yeah, so that's the color we went with for the entire house.
Yeah, that's gonna look really nice.
Yeah, I think it'll warm it up a little bit in here. And then these books, I've gotten through this stack, still need to go through this half over here. And this is not including anything that's on a shelf in this room. We haven't touched the shelves in here. This is only from the bedrooms. So we are still needing to get through all of these, but again, there's only so much time in the day to physically one by one go through each book.
It's a lot of
work.
It's a lot of time consuming work. And there's still more in the bedrooms.
Yes,
yeah,
there's 2 more shelves.
Yeah, a couple more shelves.
And the whole closet is still full. We don't want to keep both sides of bookcases because it closes this room in so much, and this is going to be the only living room space for this house. And so the thought is to remove the bookshelves on the kitchen and bedroom wall and leave it on the exterior wall here. And so that means about 1,000 books are no longer going to have a place.
Keeping the door closed so the dogs don't go in there. So in this bedroom, ripped up all the carpet, all of the carpet flooring, took out the bookshelves, and we're probably not going to be putting them back in. And then took out the carpet in the closet here. So here in the bathroom, to make the bathroom a little bit more, have a little bit more space to it, we're going to actually just take this door out and we're going to put in a sliding door here. So it gives a little bit more space in here. And we thought about possibly doing some renovation, but we have enough renovation going on that we're not positive that's going to happen.
So what Nate was mentioning with the renovations, because how tight this bathroom is in these bump outs, and they're not really necessary, what this is this is just a little tiny hallway closet that really we don't need. And so we figured we could bump this out and make it even with this wall. And the same with this one. Exact same thing, except it's in the master bedroom. Again, it's only this big, and so it's a very awkward little pop out, and we can show you that when we're in the master bedroom or in the other bedroom. And what that would do is potentially, if you come in here, you can see how small the shower is. What that would do is that would allow us to either move the shower or potentially give it an extra 2.5, 3 feet. It just gives you more options. So you could do a double sink, you could kind of rearrange, and it wouldn't feel so tight in here. Again, it's not a necessity. So it's one of those things that we'll probably not do anything with it right now. However, it's something we've considered as we're looking at all the different options. Let's go to the kitchen. This is gonna be the biggest transformation so far. Or not transformation, just,
Oh, the kitchen. Where do I even start? All right, so just this morning I took out the drywall in this room. There'll be a video coming out on that probably in 2 videos from now. So you're getting a sneak peek here. The reason we did that is because we wanted to see if we can make that bump out in the corner back here, make this bump out a little bit larger to fit the refrigerator or move it. And one of the things we needed to find out is what this wall was doing, if it's load bearing or not load bearing. Unfortunately, it's load bearing, but I think we can work around that. This morning I also put down this subfloor here. This is actually going to be permanent, but it's just in temporary right now, so that way I had some working room for the drywall. Underneath this actually is a giant hole. And I mean a giant hole.
you may recognize that as a crawl space.
Yeah, so you'll see that video 2 days after seeing this one. It's because there was a lot of dry rot on the floor of the kitchen, and we wanted to take care of that before we put down any new flooring throughout the house. And so there's that space, and there's another one back here in the corner that we need to take care of. So I'm going to do this one first. We're going to be taking this one down, and that's because we're going to be taking the drywall out of or off of this wall, because it's an exterior wall, and the other side of this wall is the bathroom, and we want to check for mold. So thankfully there hasn't been mold in this wall. There was a little bit over by where the refrigerator was, took care of that, and we want to make sure there's no mold over here. And then once we get all that fixed, then we're going to put it back together and make a nice beautiful kitchen.
Yes. So we're gonna go down the hallway. So in this area, the built-in's gonna stay. We're not gonna do anything with that. This is that closet that I mentioned, the bathroom. If we were going to remodel the bathroom, this is how big that closet is, and so it would just make this door go away, and it would allow a little bit more space. So as we walk down the hallway, this is where we started to change things. The space was originally a 1-bedroom back here with a huge open door, like a double-cased open door, with kind of an awkward desk area. And so what we did is we reframed. We had to take out the wall, and we reframed, and we went ahead and made this 2 bedrooms. One will be an 11 by 14, and the other will be about a 12 by probably 9. This is the main bathroom for the entire house. We are going to remove this sink and vanity. It's press board, so don't want to keep that. And we will replace the toilet. And the tub is undecided if we are going to. It really depends on when we start taking the wall out of the kitchen. This is the adjoining wall to the kitchen where the tub is, and that's why, because we can visibly see some water damage that perhaps was an old leak, or just moisture from an old tub. That's why it's really important that we get into that wall to make sure that there's no mold inside of that wall. That will ultimately determine whether or not the whole tub comes out, or if we just resurface it, refinish it. So more to come here. This bathroom will look completely different, but it's not a priority right now. We're focusing on the bedrooms and the kitchen right now. We're inside the walk-in closet right here, and as you can see, it's a really nice big space. This is the bathroom to the master. So on the other side of the sink where there was that little bump out, this is the space right here that we were talking about, where it might make sense to just extend this wall straight across and give this little bit of space back to the bathroom. Looks to be what, about 3 square feet, but in a bathroom that makes a pretty good difference. And you still have a very large, nice closet. It's not necessary to have this little bump out. So lots of quirky little details in this house that we're playing around with. Lots of add-ons and changes and adjustments. But there's no more carpet, so we shouldn't find any more walls built on top of carpet at least.
That's good. What a pain that was.
So.
Yeah, so lots of work to do, but
yeah,
we're learning a lot.
Yes.
And for the most part having fun with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes not so much, but.
Yeah, I think if we weren't trying to get the kitchen done in a week.
Yeah, so we mentioned over by the pigs that we're doing pig processing in about 10 days. And we don't have enough space in our RV trailer to host a bunch of people. We have quite a few friends.
13 people coming over.
Yeah, we don't need that many for pig processing, but we wanted to show our friends the new space, our property, just hang out, make a day of it. And so we decided that we're gonna have activities in the house. And so with the kitchen, we wanted to get the flooring fixed because it was bad. And then we're gonna have to get the walls put back into place and then put up some sort of temporary countertops or something, and then bring in the appliances and hook those up so Katie
can have somewhere to cook.
And some of the friends can cook while the other people are out processing the pig, and so we can have a feast afterwards. So it's a little bit of pressure to get the kitchen going, and things are just taking a lot longer than. There's
a lot more unexpected issues that have happened in the kitchen.
Right.
With the flooring, like it was a lot worse. We knew it was bad because there was obviously a hole in the kitchen floor, so we knew it was bad, but we didn't realize it was 4 foot by 8 foot bad. We thought it was like maybe a 2 by 3 hole or something. So anyway, my dream is to be able to not have to use the RV little tiny stove and burner to cook for 13 people, but if I have to, I'll make it work. Favorite part of every video is when the dogs all decide they want to stand on top of us when we sit on the floor. Okay, we got the puppy here that loves to chew everything. And Kinsley that stole one of the gifts. So thank you so much, Karen, for the Frisbee. I know your dogs loved it. Kinsley also loves it. She's not the best at catching it. We're working on that with her, but she definitely loves to take it and walk around with it. So thank you so much for that. Also, thank you to my mom, Donna. She gave us some dog biscuits for the dogs. They all appreciate it. Also, she gave us, Nate, some coffee.
It's concentrated decaf coffee that I can put in some milk or add water to it and have a nice snack in the evening, or add a little extra flavor to my morning coffee. It's fantastic. I love it. Thank you, Donna.
We're super excited, and this will up Treasure Tuesday games. This is a metal detector. So we are excited to start going around the property, especially once it is closer to fall winter time, where Winston, where things are a little bit less overgrown and we can actually walk around and check out some of the old abandoned buildings and areas. So thank you so much, Donna. Mom. So weird. Appreciate those. And then I am so sorry I lost who sent us this. I don't know what happened to the little tag, but these are awesome. These are little ceramic knobs for the cabinets, and there's 6 of them and they're all different. And so I thought it was really a fun way to add some color and some uniqueness to one of the rooms. This is from a different Donna, not my mother, but these are full-length aprons that are like a thick plasticky type material. We thought they'd come in handy for the processing of different animals and just using kind of to keep you dry and clean. So thank you so much, Donna. It looks like Donna from Spain. So just said enjoy the gift, loving the program. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And then last but not least, we did get a gift sent to us for Winston. You got your first gift, sir. It wasn't on our Amazon wish list, but it was extremely thoughtful. We did get a dog glue for Winston. So thank you so much, Linda. That was very sweet and very thoughtful of you. Really appreciate it. It's a great gift. All right, so thank you everyone so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, commenting, subscribing, hitting the thumbs up button, for all that you do to support our channel. We really couldn't do this without you.
Yes, we appreciate it very, very much. So we'll see you on the next one.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.